3, go.
Hey, this is Kathy, and this is video number 3 of Christmas 2025 from So Original. Still Christmas in July for the rest of the year. And today I'm here with Wendy, and we are going to be talking to you about the easy machine sewn folded star hot pads. Now, I have to tell you that I have actually tried this in the past and failed. And you know me, I'll try anything. But Wendy came into the store. She was looking to purchase more templates, and she brought with her magnificent samples that she's been sewing this year. So Brenda, I'm sure you can catch all of these. So we asked, need I say begged, Wendy if she would bring in all her different steps and take a few minutes to show us this. Now, of course, there's wonderful fabric combinations that you can buy, and I think part of what Wendy's samples show is these are great for Christmas, but for gifts, you can really specialize what you're putting in them for each holiday, or maybe the person you're giving them to. If they're really into patriotic, or they're a puppy lover, or this is a particular color scheme that they have. So many options. And we're going to be putting some packages together with these folded hot star patterns and the templates, and possibly some fabric collections that we feel are appropriate. So stay tuned for those. Now be sure to subscribe to our YouTube video, like the video, comment, and turn notifications on. Click on that little bell and follow. So now, Wendy, can you tell us how you get started with these?
Well, you pick out your colored combination fabrics.
Okay.
You choose which color you want to be in the center, and then you work your way out with the other 3 colors.
Okay, so there's 4 colors total.
4 colors total. And whatever you want the center section to be, which is a 2-inch square, you would want to follow with whatever the color is in your thread throughout the project. Then you would take your next layer. So the first layer is only 4 stars. The other one, each row has 8 triangles.
Okay. So your initial triangles, you told me, were 3.5 inches.
Yes.
All your others are 5 inches.
Correct. So you would have
Charm pack friendly.
Charm pack friendly.
You would take your square, fold it in half, and iron it. Then you have to take it, pinch for center. Just put the ends together and pinch like this. You need pretty good light too. Then you would take one side and follow that line, iron this side, and then I turn it. And I put my fingernail like right here to give a little gap. And then you press this side. Then I'll press it together, and then I'll turn it over and I press it again.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, you're gonna do that not just for these 5 pieces, but all your pieces.
Correct.
So your whole first step is about prepping your triangles, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then what's next?
Then we would glue. You take your 2-inch square.
And you're using Elmer's
washable
school glue.
And you just put a little bit of glue. Put it on the template. Take the next one. And I put a little bit of glue.
So the flat side is down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, the flat side is down. Then you take the part in the center. Your center piece has to run with your line here, and your edges come up against these lines. Turn it. Glue. Turn again.
So when you get to this side, you told me they just kind of slide right in there.
Yeah, you might have to do a little. That's what the 2-inch square's for. It
Oh, is
kind
there-
of hides if your edges aren't totally, because everything else will lay on top.
Okay.
Kind of hides it if you don't have.
It's not perfect.
And believe me, none of mine are perfect.
Can't tell that by looking at them, dear.
No.
They're
well,
the most precise ones I've ever seen.
So there, and you would take all your other 3 colors. These are 5-inch squares, and you would do the exact same thing. You fold it in half, and then fold the edges in to do your triangles. And then you would go on here, it says layer 2. You would do this. For the first one, you don't do the one side, because what happens is you come back around, you line up here, so you're lined up with the black one. So when you go all the way around, you can lift this side, because everything goes over top of one another. See how I do this one? It goes over top. This one goes over the
So you're
first one.
going counterclockwise?
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it really matters. But whichever side you start with, you want to leave the one piece flapping so that once you get back around. And you need to keep an eye on where you're at, because otherwise they're going to be out of whack. So you want to make sure you're on your layer 2 line.
I've seen those on Facebook.
So good lighting is key.
Yeah, good lighting is a key thing. I have one of those lights right over top of my sewing board. And always try to make sure you're in line with the one prior to.
So where the opening is, your point's gonna hit right where that opening is.
Correct.
And the bottom is hitting where this mark is that says layer 2.
Yes.
If you had really good lighting in your living room, this would be a great thing to do in front of the TV to get them all prepped and ready to go, ready to sew, I would think.
Right.
Okay.
I watch TV the whole time I'm doing them. I have a TV out in my room.
Ah, me too. So then
So
when
you're
you
back to the other side again. So I add just a little bit of glue, hold it down. Then you would go around with every single color.
Okay.
Same way.
So you're gonna go around until you have all your layers, and then it's gonna, let's move that other one out here. So when you've gone all the way around with all 4 colors, then it will look like this.
Yes.
Stunning.
Okay. And I'll cap your glue for you.
And each of you got your lines on the template. You got lines here, here. You got one here and one right there.
Okay.
You would have to sew from one side to the other.
Okay. So you're gonna sew 4 lines. 6, actually.
Well,
So you're first gonna sew these 4 lines.
Yeah, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Because you go from one side to the other, so
Okay.
it's actually 4 lines.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you've sewn these 2, but on these pieces, you're
It's open.
sewing, it's open.
Yes, because I was gonna
Oh,
demonstrate. That's
Okay.
why I left it to that point.
okay. So where's one of the ones you've sewn? Even after you sew them, the flaps on your last row can still be moved.
Yes.
So why don't you demonstrate sewing the... So you have to find the foot that's most comfortable for you. Use the package said to use a walking foot, but you didn't feel as comfortable with that on your particular machine. So you can use whatever gives you the best visibility to do the straightest line.
Yeah. So I just start just a little bit off the fabric, so I'm near, and nothing has to be perfect. And when you get to these other pieces, you can use tweezers to try and keep everything straight, and go slow when you get to those. That way, if you have to stop, you can adjust.
So you should be going in the middle of where it's folded.
Correct.
Okay.
And if, like I said, if you stop and start, it's fine. You just want to try to stay within the lines, the opening, the seam. Sometimes you need to lift up and adjust some. And I guess they want you to use the same color thread as what your centers are, because that's where you're going to have the most visibility. Okay, so when I got to this point on this side, I'm going to raise it up and just do like one, trying to get the so you may have to do that where you just use one stitch so that you can get in that ditch.
If you are a Bernina sewer, this is where hover is going to come in real handy. And you might raise the level of your hover, because 2 millimeters might not be enough of a hover for this many layers. This is just gorgeous.
And so I'm on the 4th row again, so I can open these 2 up.
Oh, cool.
Once you get there, you can open it up. And then I just eyeball it going down to the...
That laser would help too if you had a laser.
Oh yeah, the laser light would be amazing.
So that's one of the rows. So
And-
it's, and you just kind of fold these back down.
Okay.
Now I have one more. So if you look at the back, you still have one more seam to do.
Okay. But let's move on and do the next step, because I think that was pretty clear.
Okay.
So your next step would be this one.
So number 3. Well, this one we can still show how we do the star, because once you get this far, you're gonna. Oh, wait a
I think
minute.
you told me the next step was
Was-
sewing that
yes.
outer
So
circle.
you would have, once you get all your lines sewn, you're going to sew real close to the edge, but not off, hopefully. And that doesn't matter either. But just to help hold the petals down, so that when you sit down and try to cut, you're going to end up having to cut that circle,
Right.
the 8-inch
So
circle.
just inside the layer 4 line.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So then once you've sewn that, then you're going to cut it like this, cut away all the excess.
Correct.
Okay.
And then once you have it cut away, you're going to take your batting and your backing fabric and you're going to just kind of center it in there to make sure you have the backing fabric covering it. Then I take it to the sewing machine. Well, before you do that, I use this ruler and one of the heat erase pens, and I sit here making lines.
So you're actually drawing
Where I'm going to sew.
where you're going to sew your star,
Correct.
because that's going to hold down those layers.
Yes.
Okay.
You got it held down on the outside, but you need something in the inside. Otherwise, they kind of pull away from
They pull
one another.
away.
Yeah. Especially if you were to wash it. So you just do, I just do that, and then I turn it and do the same thing on this side. Then turn it back. This is so that this ruler has that 1/4 inch guide.
Yeah, it's called an add a quarter.
Yeah, so I use that on the outer edge here, and that's why I keep going from this direction and then flipping it in this direction and making the...
Okay. So once you have the whole thing drawn, then you're going to sew it.
Yes, you're going to sew that down.
Okay.
You wanna-
Yeah.
Now, could you use the number 10 foot to sew around the outside circle and then add that for your,
I don't think I
Okay.
would use that.
just
I don't know
ask.
It's too far. I know what she's talking about.
Okay, so
Maybe you're 39 foot so you can see.
34.
see, that's the glue, I think, making the noise.
Is this a chance you would make your stitch length longer or shorter? Or?
You could.
Because this is decorative stitching on the top, you could make your stitch length longer. You could also switch to a heavier weight thread at this point a little bit, but you are going through a lot of layers. So if you're using something like a metallic, you're going to have to move the thread away from the machine, slow the machine way down
Change
in
your
order
needle.
to change your needle to maybe a higher number, to give that metallic a chance to work on all the layers. It would be something that I would test before I messed up one of my actual hot pads. That you worked so
So
hard
hard
at
on,
this
right.
point, you've put a lot of time into this already. So the actual sewing is honestly very quick. All the time is in the prep.
In the prepping of the fabric.
Yeah.
Between picking it out,
Oh yes, picking it
Deciding-
out, that's the most time.
deciding which layers are going to be the colors.
Yeah. I think sometimes when we make these wonderful handcrafted gifts that people never know how much goes into them, to really just even appreciate all the effort you put in to make something specially for them.
Like I said, it's very time consuming as the beginning part. The first steps are the consumed part of your time. Doing this is not.
No, but I really like that you're taking your time trying to make it line up with precision.
And I might start having trouble with my thread.
It's all right. I think you've given us a really good view.
I kind of want it to get to the other side. If you want to stop the thing and just let me get all the way through, and then I can do the binding, then we can cut.
I don't think we can pause.
Pause.
That's okay. Do you have one that's already done to the next step?
Actually, this was gonna be the one.
Okay.
It's all right.
Because you're gonna have to end up cutting again after you sew around.
I think if you would like to just stop momentarily, we can just walk through it without actually doing it since you haven't finished. Do you want to take it off the machine? Can you do that?
Yeah. If I have trouble with my thread where it breaks or something midway, I will stop and I'll pull the one thread back to the back side and then thread it on a hand needle and I feed it
And
in
bury
hand.
the threads.
Bury the thread.
So once you've finished sewing your star, let's bring this back over here because the light's a little better. Once you finish sewing your star all the way around, then you're going to trim it.
Well, first you should sew again.
Oh,
So
sew
on the
this
outer-
again.
Number 10 would have been good.
Sew
Yeah,
around
that's
again.
when a number 10 foot would be good on a Bernina.
And then you would trim this excess off.
Okay.
And once you've got that all done, then now I cheated, I didn't make my own bias tape, but I buy whatever kind of fits with the fabrics. I open it partially, fold it over, iron it really good. I put a 1/4 inch foot on my machine and I will lay this right at the edge and I would start stitching and I just, with my hand, I keep pushing it against the 1/4 inch foot to keep it.
Right, because you're
Uniform.
turning. It's got to be bias binding.
Yes.
Otherwise it won't turn.
Correct. And I use the double fold it.
And we're going to show another video on how to make your own bias binding as well.
But that's, then you, like I said, you just keep going all the way around. And then when you come to the other side, this piece will run right into here. And
Okay.
you go up a little past where you have it folded.
So you're going, can you see the fold right here? Going a little past that.
So, and then back tack and then
Cut
cut
it.
it. And then when you, and it's a little hard to turn, but it'll go. Then you turn and everything will go to the back.
And then you hand
It's nice.
stitch it on the back.
It's a very nice finish because this is where it overran the other fabric.
Yeah, on a lot of these, you have to really search for it, which is good.
That's
Yeah.
a good sign.
That is a good sign. And then your back is a little wider than your 1/4 inch.
Yes.
And then you're just doing a slip stitch on here.
Yeah, just a hand
And
stitch.
this is one that she didn't
Eventually.
finish, so
Right.
you could see it. So you could see how this overlapped. Here's her finished edge. Here's where she came past it. And then once she cut that, you can see that this will turn perfectly. And just make sure these little pieces are all nice and tucked in when you're stitching them. Wow, you make it sound so simple. I know you
Just time consuming, that's what
just
it is.
time consuming, but follow the directions, read them all the way through, follow our video, know that we are here to help you and support you, and we so appreciate you.
Thank you, Miss
you.
Wendy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy, very much.